Wake up, rise up, Mell, be on the line. News, weather, truth, she delivers on time. Affirm your power, let the doubt unwind. Kickstart your soul, let your purpose shine. She don't just talk, she sparked the flame from 7 to 8. She runs the game, Jamaica to New Orleans and all the world. The vibe don't sleep. Mell B drop gems while the world counts sheep. No fluff, no cap, just facts and fire. Affirmation flow that lifts you higher. Wake up, rise up, Mell B on the line. News, weather, truth.
Grand Rising, my beautiful kings and queens. We made it to the finish line. It's your girl Mell B closing out the week on Lux Radio Network. It's Friday, February 6th, and the weekend has officially entered the building. We are closing out our first week of Black History Month 2026 with a bang. From the Olympic stage in Italy to the big screen right here at home, Black elegance is everywhere you look. We're celebrating the wins, playing the anthems, and getting you ready for a legendary weekend. It's Friday. It's the finale. So let's get into it. All right. Our affirmation of the day, and I read, I am a living legacy in progress. As I close this week, I choose peace over pressure and joy over struggle. I am deserving of every blessing coming my way, and I walk into the weekend with an expectant heart. All right. Our word of the day is reciprocate. It means to give or take mutually, to return in kind or to a certain degree. Our urban slang word of the day is actually a phrase, and I'm repeating it. It's standing on business, which means taking care of your responsibilities, being serious about your word, and following through on what you said you were going to do. All right, on to our world news headlines this morning. Grand Rising, run long. First up, we got January jobs report canceled. The Bureau of Labor Statistics, officially announced that the January 2026 employment situation report, originally scheduled for release today, has been canceled due to the ongoing federal government shutdown. This marks a significant disruption in the economic data tracking, or they're trying to fix it. Next up, Senate funding breakthrough. Late last night, the Senate passed 5 separate measures to fund government agencies through September and a 2-week funding bill for DHS. The focus now shifts to the House, where Democrats have not yet guaranteed votes for passage. And last, the ICE restriction standoff. The government funding lapse continues to center on a heated congressional standoff over proposed restrictions and guardrails for ICE agents following high-profile federal incidents last month. All right, news city by city, starting with New York. Manhattan tech hubs are reporting a surge in analog socializing startups as New Yorkers increasingly seek offline ways to network amid the digital fatigue. New York's community event is Game Night Getaway at Sour Mouse at 110 DeLacy Street at 6:30 p.m. A casual singles and social connect event featuring billboards, ping pong, and a giant Jenga. Los Angeles. The city is seeing a rise in relationship wellness seminars, with psychologists reporting a post-holiday spike in residents seeking mental health support for dating anxiety. There's that dating thing again we talked about the other night. It's driving each other crazy. Los Angeles community event today is the Dating Dynamics with Dr. Damon, ground floor of 160 Glendale Boulevard at 6 p.m. A Valentine-themed philosophy film night exploring intimacy and relationships through comedic shorts. Chicago. Community groups are finalizing plans for one of the largest Lunar New Year parades in the Midwest, focusing on cultural heritage and neighborhood revitalization. Their community event is the Argyle Lunar New Year celebration, Argyle Street and Sheridan Road. Family-friendly activities, community marching groups, and cultural performances from 10:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Atlanta. Local labor advocates are calling for an hour of comedy initiative in workshops and workplaces to combat rising stress levels among the city's booming logistics workforce. Their community event today is the 401k Comedy Show, Metropolitan Studios at 8 p.m., an energetic improv comedy show featuring audience interactive games and narrative scenes. In Houston, Houston health organizations are expanding mindful walking programs in public museums to help residents manage the stress caused by the current national economic uncertainty. Community event there is the Mindful Wellness Walk, the Menial Collection at 1533 Sol Ross Road at 2 p.m. A guided walking meditation focused on hidden local gems and mental recharging. Washington, D.C. Capitol Hill is in high gear today as the House Speaker attempts to secure enough Republican votes to reopen the government by Tuesday without the need for bipartisan support. DC's community event today is the Folger Shakespeare Library Tour, a public walkthrough of the newly renovated historic space on Capitol Hill. Miami. Miami Beach libraries are being repositioned as social jam hubs, offering musical instruments to residents to foster community bonding through art rather than technology. Miami's community event today is Library Jam Session, Library Beach Regional Library at 3:30 p.m., an informal social event for musicians of all levels. Guitars and keyboards will be provided. Tampa. Local education foundations are launching new Bowling for Scholarships initiatives to fulfill funding gaps created by the current federal government shutdown's impact on student aid. Tampa's community event today is the 15th annual Night Bowl at Pin Chasers at 4847 North Armenia Drive at 6 p.m., a major scholarship fundraiser featuring music and cyber bowling. Newport Richey. Good morning, Dad. The Recreation and Aqua Center is expanding its active senior programming to include more athletic-based conditioning as part of a citywide fitness initiative. Newport Richey's community event today is the Silver Sneakers Boom Muscle, NPR Recreation and Aquatic Center, an athletic-based exercise class designed to improve upper body conditioning for active adults. Milwaukee. Good morning, family. Milwaukee's entertainment scene is seeing a revival of comedy legend tours, with venues reporting record-breaking pre-sales for 2026 spring shows. Milwaukee's community event today is the Sherry Shepherd Live at the Veranium at 1818 North Farwell Avenue tonight at 7:30 p.m., a stand-up performance by the Emmy-winning talk show host and comedian. Vancouver. Vancouver authorities are warning residents of a sophisticated AI-driven rental scam targeting young professionals moving into the West End. Vancouver's community event is the Lunar New Year Lantern Festival, Dr. Sun Yat-sen Classical Chinese Garden, a traditional lantern display celebrating the Year of the Horse. In Toronto, the Toronto Sustainable Design Summit is discussing how to integrate vertical gardens into the city's upcoming affordable housing projects. Toronto's community event today is the Design TO Festival Workshops at various locations, public sessions on sustainable urban design and community architecture. Bless up, Jamaica. Kingston. Today marks the official birthday of national hero Bob Marley. The city is hosting multiple cultural tributes focusing on his message of unity and social justice. Kingston's community event is the Bob Marley birthday celebration at the Bob Marley Museum, a full day of storytelling, live music, and educational tours honoring his legacy. Montego Bay. Tourism stakeholders are reporting that Sunset Wellness has become the #1 request for international visitors arriving this winter. Their community event there today is the Sunset Beach Gathering, a community-led outdoor activity at Sun Beach to witness the fiery skies over the coast. Ocho Rios. St. Anne's Bay authorities are highlighting the trade wind economy, focusing on how the natural climate of the North Coast is driving new ecotourism investments. Ocho Rios community event today is the Ocho Rios Bay Beach Day, a relaxing community experience focused on clear waters and local artesian displays. Negril. The annual beach trot begins today, bringing together locals and tourists to promote physical health along the 7-mile stretch. Community event in Negril today is the Waves 5K Beach Trot, Negril Beach, a morning community run walk followed by live reggae performances. Cayman Islands. The Cayman Heart Foundation is kicking off Wear Red Day to raise awareness for cardiovascular health across the islands. The community event there is the CHF Red Dress Ball 2026, Kimpton Seafire Resort at 6 p.m. today. A glamorous charity gala featuring a cocktail reception, dinner, and auction to support heart health. Nassau, Bahamas. Nassau Port authorities are seeing an uptick in multi-activity excursions as tourists pivot away from traditional sightseeing toward active water sports. Nassau's community event today is the Island Club Adventures excursion in Woods Rogers Walk at 2 p.m. A harbor tour featuring snorkeling, jet skiing, and swimming with pigs. Okay. Nigeria. General Buba Marwa has issued a national call to Nigerian youth to prioritize skills acquisition and empowerment opportunities to navigate the 2026 global economic shift. And Nigeria's community event today is the Lagos Skills Acquisition Forum, a youth empowerment seminar focusing on vocational training and entrepreneurship. Ghana. Accra's Cultural Stroll initiative is being praised for boosting local foot traffic to small family-owned businesses in the Laboon district. Their community event there is the Stroll Through Laboon Crescent, a community walk exploring the vibrant culture and friendly faces of the neighborhood. The Netherlands. The Holland Dance Festival officially opens today, positioning the country as the epic center of contemporary dance in Europe for the next 3 months. Netherlands community event is the Hub Club 26 Holland Dance Festival at the Ahet Spouw Theater, a diverse dance performance featuring contemporary and hip-hop fusion. Vietnam. Vietnam is celebrating a successful Tet holiday season, with official reports showing a massive increase in domestic tourism to the Northern Highlands. Vietnam's community event is the Hanoi Spring Trade Fair, the opening day of the city's largest post-Lunar New Year trade and cultural market. And France. French cultural centers are launching Blues and Folk Month to highlight the influence of American roots music on contemporary French artists. France's community event is the Cisco Hoft Live at the La Dive Cafe in Devon-les-Bains at 8 p.m., a performance by the renowned French slide guitarist and blues singer. All right, on to our weather for today, starting with New York. Cloudy today with a high of 30 and snow showers tonight with a low of 12. Los Angeles, mostly sunny today with a high of 70 and a low of 52. Chicago, cloudy with a high of 35 and a low of 14. Atlanta, sunny today with a high of 59 and a low of 31. Houston, sunny today with a high of 76 and a low of 48. Washington, D.C., sunny today with a high of 41 and a low of 26. Miami, sunny today with a high of 65 and a low of 47. Tampa, sunny today with a high of 60 and a low of 40. Newport Richey, sunny today with a high of 58 and a low of 44. Milwaukee, sunny today with a high of 35 and a low of 8. Vancouver, rainy today with a high of 49 and a low of 45. Toronto, mostly cloudy today with a high of 27 and a low of 11. Kingston, sunny today with a high of 75 and a low of 64. Montego Bay, partly sunny today with a high of 72 and a low of 68. Ocho Rios, sunny today with a high of 70 and a low of 64. Negril, sunny today with a high of 75 and a low of 72. Cayman Islands, mostly cloudy today with a high of 74 and a low of 73. Nassau, partly sunny today with a high of 66 and a low of 60. Nigeria, mostly cloudy today with a high of 93 and a low of 72. Ghana, mostly cloudy today with a high of 99 and a low of 76. The Netherlands, light rain today with a high of 43 and a low of 36. Vietnam, mostly cloudy today with a high of 75 and a low of 60. And France, mostly cloudy today with a high of 49 and a low of 39. All right, sports fans, on to our sports. In the NFL, yesterday they had the NFL Honors 2026, and the award winners are as I read. For MVP, it went to Matthew Stafford, quarterback of the LA Rams. Offensive player of the year went to Jackson Smith in Jigba, wide receiver of the Seahawks. Defensive player of the year was Myles Garrett, defensive end, Cleveland Browns. Offensive rookie of the year went to Tyrod McMillan, wide receiver of the Carolina Panthers. Defensive rookie of the year went to Carson Schwarzenegger, linebacker for the Cleveland Browns. Coach of the year went to Mike Vrabel of the New England Patriots. And the Walter Payton Man of the Year went to Bobby Wagner, linebacker of the Washington Commanders. Also, the Football Hall of Fame class of 2026 was officially announced last night during the ceremony. So this year's class features 5 legends, highlighted by 2 absolute locks on their first ballot and long-awaited call for a San Francisco Dynasty hero. Here are the members of the class of 2026. First up, Drew Brees, quarterback, a first ballot selection and a 13-time Pro Bowler. He retired ranking 2nd of all time in passing yards with 80,358 and touchdowns totaling 571. He is the most remembered for leading the New Orleans Saints to their Super Bowl 44 victory. Congratulations. Next up, we have Larry Fitzgerald, wide receiver, a first ballot selection who spent his entire 17-year career with the Arizona Cardinals. He ranked 2nd all time in receptions with 1,432 and receiving yards of 17,492, trailing only Jerry Rice. Congratulations. Next up, we have Luke Kuechly, linebacker, elected in his 2nd year of eligibility. Despite a shorter 8-year career with the Carolina Panthers, he was a 7-time Pro Bowler and 5-time first-team All-Pro, and remains one of the most cerebral linebackers to ever play. Congratulations. Next, we have Adam Vinatieri, kicker, known as Mr. Clutch. He enters the Hall in his 2nd year of eligibility. He is the NFL's all-time leading scorer with 2,673 points, and famously kicked the game-winning field goals in 2 of the Patriots' early Super Bowl wins. Congratulations. And last, we have Roger Craig, the lone selection for the seniors, coaches, and contributors category. A 3-time Super Bowl champion with the 49ers, he was the first player in NFL history to record 1,000 rushing yards and 1,000 receiving yards in the same season in 1985. Congratulations to all the winners. All right, on to our NBA final scores from yesterday. We have the Nets over the Magic, 118-98. The Wizards over the Pistons, 126-117. The Raptors over the Bulls, 123-107. The Hawks over the Jazz, 121-119. The Hornets over the Rockets, 109-99. The Spurs over the Mavericks, 135-123. The Warriors over the Suns, 101-97. And the Lakers over the 76ers, 119-115. Today in the NBA, we have the Heat versus the Celtics at 7:30 on NBC Sports Boston and FanDuel Sports Network. We have the Knicks and the Pistons at 7:30 on MSG, FanDuel Sports Detroit, and Prime Video. We also have the Pacers and the Bucks at 8 p.m. on FanDuel Wisconsin and FanDuel Indiana. We have the Pelicans and the Timberwolves at 8 p.m. on FanDuel North and Gulf Coast Sports. The Grizzlies and the Trailblazers will be at 10 p.m. on KUNP and FanDuel Southeast. And the Clippers and the Kings are at 10 p.m. on NBC Sports Cali and FanDuel South SoCal. All right, on to our Jamaican sports. From yesterday, we have the Spanish Town Police over Dunbeholden 2-0, and Mount Pleasant over Cavalier 1-0. There are no matches scheduled for today in Jamaican soccer. However, the torch is being lit in Milan as we speak. This is the first time the Winter Games are being hosted across two major cities, Milan and Cortina in Italy. The 2026 Winter Olympics officially begin today, Friday, February 6th. So the opening ceremony today will be live starting at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then there will be a primetime encore of the ceremony at 8 p.m. tonight. The full games are from today, February 6th, all the way through February 22nd, and the first medals will be awarded tomorrow, Saturday, February 7th, starting with the men's downhill and alpine skiing. So how do you watch it? United States, Prime TV will be on NBC, USA Network, and CNBC, and it will be streaming on Peacock. In Canada, you can watch it on CBC, TSN, and RDS, streaming CBC Gem, free, and TSN Plus. In Jamaica, you can watch it on TVJ, Television Jamaica, and stream from Sportsmax, Disney Plus, and Disney Plus. In Nigeria and Ghana, you can watch it on SuperSport and stream it from DSTV Stream and Showmax. The Netherlands, you can watch it on NOS and stream from nos.nl and HBO Max. In France, you can watch it on France Televisions and France, stream it on France TV, France.tv, excuse me. And in Vietnam, you can watch it on VTV and stream from VTV Go. All right, on to our daily feature today, where we are spotlighting Mary Seacole, the forgotten healer. So we're looking at a figure that social media is finally bringing into the spotlight, someone the history books tried to forget. While everyone knows Florence Nightingale as the lady with the lamp, have you ever heard of Mary Seacole? Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Mary was a Jamaican Scottish woman who was a master of traditional medicine and hygiene. When the Crimean War broke out in the 1850s, she traveled all the way to London to volunteer as a nurse. The British government rejected her, some say because of the color of her skin. But Mary Seacole was standing on business. She didn't go home. She used her own money to sail to the war zone herself. She set up the British Hotel, which wasn't a luxury stay. It was a place where she cooked for, nursed, and even performed surgery on wounded soldiers right on the front lines. She was so beloved that when she returned to England broke, the soldiers she saved held a 4-day gala to raise money for her. Yet, for 100 years, her name was left out of the medical textbooks. Today, thanks to digital historians on TikTok and Instagram, her story is finally going viral. Mary reminds us that you don't need permission to be a hero, and you don't need a government seal to do the right thing. So as you head into your weekend, remember, Your work speaks for itself. Even the official record forgets to take notes. Also on Friday, we do Global Flavor. So this is where we take our taste buds on a world tour and explore dishes, drinks, and traditions that shape cultures around the globe. So today we're making two stops, one in Ethiopia and the other in Vietnam. Two countries where food isn't just nourishment, it's storytelling. So first up, Ethiopia, the sacred coffee ceremony. So what is it? So now we can't talk about global culture without heading to the Horn of Africa, to Ethiopia, the literal birthplace of coffee. While we're over here grabbing a quick latte in a drive-through in Ethiopia, coffee is sacred. 3-hour social ritual known as the Habesha coffee ceremony. This isn't just a caffeine fix, it's a heartbeat of the community. It's traditionally led by women of the house who start by spreading fresh aromatic grasses and flowers on the floor to bring scent of nature indoors. She roasts the green coffee beans by hand over hot coals right in front of you. When the smoke starts to rise, she carries the pan around to each and every guest so they can get a whiff of that rich, nutty aroma. It's called sharing the smoke. The coffee is brewed in a beautiful black K-pot called a jibana. And here's the kicker. You don't have to have one cup. There are 3 rounds. First, Abu. Next is Tana. And the last is Baraka. The third round, Baraka, literally means to be blessed. It's considered a sign of respect and friendship to be invited. And the conversation ranges from local gossip to deep political debates. And for the snack lovers, they don't serve donuts. In Ethiopia, the traditional side for coffee is actually popcorn or crusty bread called dabo. I'm sorry. So next time you take a sip of that morning brew, remember you aren't just drinking a beverage, you are participating in a 1,000-year-old African legacy of community and hospitality. All right, next, Vietnam, the soul of pho. All right, so Global Flavor is taking us to the vibrant streets of Vietnam to talk about a dish that has taken the world by storm, pho. Pho is the ultimate fusion success story. It actually originated in northern Vietnam in the early 20th century, born out of a mix of cultures. You've got the rice noodles from Chinese influence and the heavy use of beef, which came from the French. But the Vietnamese took those ingredients and added their own magic. Star anise, cinnamon, charred ginger, and cloves to create a broth that is basically a hug in a bowl. In Vietnam, pho is the king of breakfast. You'll see people on tiny stools at 6 a.m. slurping down this bone broth that has been simmering for at least 12 hours. There are 2 main styles, the Hanoi style, which is the northern style, which is simple and savory. Yeah, it's pho. That's what the pronunciation said, which is, there are 2 main styles, the Hanoi style northern, which is simple and savory, and the Saigon style from the south, which is sweeter and comes with all those fresh herbs, lime, and bean sprouts we see in the shops today. So the history of the Vietnam people, this is a dish of resilience. During the Vietnam War, it was a comfort food that kept people going. But when the boat people fled Vietnam in the 70s and 80s, they carried their pho recipes in their hearts, opening shops all over America and Europe. It's more than a soup, it's a story of survival and flavor that knows no borders. All right, on to our book club, where we are reviewing 100-year legacy through the book, The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter Woodson. So we reached Friday and we finished the book. So as we close out this first week of Black History Month 2026, we have to look back at the legacy of the miseducation of the Negro. It's been nearly a century since Woodson published these words in 1933, yet they feel like they were written for our live stream today. Woodson's perspective was our progress as the people depends on our ability to think independently. He didn't want us to just be smart, he wanted us to be wise. He wanted a generation that didn't just want to fit in to America, but a generation that wanted to improve America by bringing our full, authentic selves to the table. How do we apply this book as we go into the weekend? We commit to being lifelong students. The new program isn't a 1 week thing, it's a lifestyle. It's the biggest miseducation. What is the biggest miseducation you've identified in yourself this week? Maybe it's how you handle your money, how you see your history, or how you value your own work. Whatever it is, commit to unlearning it. Woodson gave us the tools. Now we have to do the work. So thanks for riding with me through this masterpiece, and we'll start a new journey next week in our book. All right, our cause of the day is Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is a rare immune disorder where the body's immune system mistakenly attacks the peripheral nerves. GBS often begins with tingling or weakness in the feet and legs, which can spread upwards to the arms and face. In severe cases, it can lead to paralysis and difficulty breathing. CBS often appears after a viral or bacterial infection, such as the flu, COVID-19, or food poisoning caused by the Campylobacter. The Campylobacter. It can also occur after surgery or, very rarely, after vaccinations, though the risk is extremely low compared to the risk of developing GBS from infections in themselves. Diagnosis involves nerve condition tests, spinal fluid analysis, and clinical evaluation. Treatment must begin really quickly. The two main therapies are IVIG, intravenous immunoglobulin, and plasma exchange, both of which help stop the immune system from attacking the nerves. Most people recover fully or partially, but recovery can take months or even years. Early treatment significantly improves outcomes. There is no known prevention, but reducing infection risk through hand washing, food safety, and staying up to date on medical care can help lower the chances of triggering GBS. For more information on GBS, please reach out to the GBS Foundation International. All right, today in history, in 1935, the Monopoly goes on sale. The iconic board game is released and becomes a global cultural staple, teaching generations about money, strategy, and negotiation. In 1971, Alan Shepard plays golf on the moon. During the Apollo 14 mission, astronaut Alan Shepard hits 2 golf balls into the lunar space, the first in human history. And in 1945, Bob Marley was born. The Jamaican reggae icon becomes a global symbol of Black liberation, unity, and cultural pride, influencing music and activism worldwide. In African American history, we have the Mayflower of Liberia departs New York in 1820. Free African Americans set sail for West Africa, helping establish Liberia. Their journey marks one of the earliest organized migrations of Black African Americans seeking self-determination. In 1945, Bob Marley's influence began to shape global Black conscience. Though not a birthday segment, this date marks the beginning of Marley's cultural impact. His music became one of the global's voice for Black liberation, anti-colonism, and unity across the diaspora. In 1988, Debbie Thompson competes in the Winter Olympics. Thomas becomes the first Black athlete to medal at the Winter Olympics, breaking racial barriers in a sport historically closed to people of color. African American scientists and inventors. First up, we have Gary Morgan, Morgan's inventions, including the three-light traffic signal and early gas masks, saved lives in mining, firefighting, and everyday transportation. Next up, we have Lloyd Hall. Hall revolutionized the food safety with methods for preventing spoilage, contamination, and innovations still used in the food industry today. And Dr. Patricia Bath. Bath became the first Black woman to receive a medical patent. Her device restored sight to many people around the world and transformed ophthalmology. Next up, we have Back to Roots segment, where we are focusing on African spiritual symbols and meanings. First up, we have the Adinkra symbols of Ghana. Adinkra symbols carry deep meanings. First up is Jinamawe represents divine supremacy. Then we have Sankofa, teaches the importance of returning to the past to reclaim wisdom. Next up, we have NCBD script of Nigeria and Cameroon, an ancient writing system used by the Ijaham and Igbo peoples. NCDB communicates ideas about love, justice, spirituality, and social order long before Western contact. And last, we have the Congo cosmogram, Central Africa. The Dikinga is a circular symbol representing the cycle of life, birth, maturity, death, and rebirth. It also symbolizes the connection between the physical world and the ancestral realm. All right, on to our Down the Rabbit Hole segment, where the question today is, why do humans have so many cultures? If we all started in the same place, why did we create thousands of different ways of living? Today, we're exploring why humans develop so many cultures, belief systems, and ways of life. Culture is humanity's superpower. It evolves faster than biology and allows groups to adapt to new environments without waiting for genetic change. When early humans migrated from across Africa, Asia, and Europe, they encountered different climates, animals, and challenges. Each environment shaped new tools, new foods, new rituals, and new social rules. Anthropologists call this cultural evolution, the idea that culture adapts the same way species do. In forest regions, people develop anonymism religions that honor trees, rivers, and animals. In deserts, cultures centered around water, trade, and astronomy. In cold climates, survival required cooperation, leading to communal traditions. Language also shaped culture. Groups that became isolated developed unique identities, new ways of speaking, thinking, and storytelling. But here's the deeper truth. Culture isn't just about survival, it's about meaning. Humans create rituals to explain the unexplainable. We create art to express what words can't. We create belief systems to make sense of life and death. And across all cultures, one idea appears again and again: Ubuntu, meaning I am because we are. The belief that humanity is interconnected. So, despite thousands of cultures, humans share the same emotional blueprint. Culture divides us, but it also reveals how deeply we are connected. Onto our fact or fiction segment. First up, first claim is the moon landing was faked. This is fiction. Multiple independent space agencies, lunar rock samples, and retroflectors left on the moon confirmed the landing. It shows how distrust in institutions fueled conspiracy culture. Next claim up, we have the U.S. once dropped bombs on its own citizens. This is a fact. In 1921, during the Tulsa Race Massacre, private aircrafts dropped devices on the Greenwood district. It exposes a suppressed chapter in American history. And the last claim, there are giant skeletons hidden by the Smithsonian. This is fiction. No verified evidence supports claims of giant human remains. The myth began in a newspaper in newspaper articles in the 1800s. All right, on to our tech tip of the day. Secure your stream, privacy check. Audit your microphone and camera permissions. As we stream live on all platforms, your privacy is your power. You don't want apps listening to your show prep or private conversations. So how do we do this? Go to your phone settings, then privacy, then permission manager. Look at the microphone and camera. If an app like a random game or a shopping app has access, turn it off. Only allow access while using the app for your streaming platforms. All right, in our finance tip of the day, it's the subscription audit. Cancel ghost subscriptions to reclaim your cash flow. Social media apps and streaming services thrive on forgotten monthly charges. Most people waste $50 to $100 a month on apps they haven't opened in weeks. So how to do this? Go to your settings on your phone, click your name, and click subscriptions. Look for any app you haven't used in the last 30 days and hit cancel. Then go to your bank app and search for recurring charges to find the ones your phone doesn't track. Take that saved money and add it to your Monday motivation. All right, on to the fun fact of the day. The man who taught Jack Daniel, one of the most famous whiskey brands in the world, Jack Daniels, was actually taught the trade by a formerly enslaved Black man named Nearest Green. For over a century, the official story was that, that a preacher taught Jack Daniel how to distill. However, the company now officially recognizes that Nathan Nearest Green was the master distiller who taught young Jack the Lincoln County process, the specific charcoal filtering method that gives the whiskey its signature taste. And in our fun holiday of the day is it's National Lame Duck Day. This holiday commemorates the ratification of the 20th Amendment to the Constitution on February 6, 1933. This amendment shortened the lame duck period, the time between an election and when the new winners actually take office. While it sounds funny, a lame duck is a politician whose successor has already been elected. Today is a day to reflect on transitions. It's a perfect Friday topic to discuss how we handle our own lame duck periods, those times when we know a big change is coming, but we still have to show up and do the work until the new season starts. All right, our quote of the day is freedom is never given, it is won. This was quoted by A. Philip Randolph, a labor unionist and civil rights activist who organized the first predominantly Black labor union, Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters, and was head architect of the 1963 March on Washington. As we close the week, this is a call to discipline. Randolph is saying that no one will ever hand you your liberation, whether it's financial freedom, mental freedom, or professional respect. You have to be organized, disciplined, and ready to work for it every single day. All right, on to our music and entertainment. The Global Mogul, Burna Boy and The Bridge. So we're closing this week by looking at the bridge between African American sound and Afrobeats. Burna Boy has sold out stadiums that traditionally only hosted American rock bands. So he is collaborating with U.S. artists while keeping the production and the global flavor strictly rooted in Nigeria. It's a $1 billion industry shift that is bringing the diaspora together through commerce. The bridge is finished. From Lagos to Mississippi, the sound is one. Burna Boy is showing us that when the diaspora connects, the profits stay in our pockets. That's a wrap. All right, in celebrity gossip, Zendaya and Tom, the engagement. Rumors of a secret wedding or engagement between Zendaya and Tom Holland have reached a fever pitch this week. While various tabloids claims it's official, Zendaya has not made a formal public statement. However, eagle-eyed fans spotted a gigantic ring in a recent paparazzi shot while she was in London. All right, on to our celebrity birthdays today. We give a heavenly birthday to Bob Marley, reggae icon. Also to Miss Natalie Cole, Grammy Award winning singer. We also have actor, director, filmmaker Robert Townsend is 69 today, and rapper and actress Lady of Rage is 60. We have R&B singer Jimmy Kozer is 49, and actor in Soul Food and Waiting to Exhale Brandon Hammond is 42. All right, on to our lifestyle segment where today's soul food recipe is smothered chicken, and the drink of the day is cucumber lime refresher. Men's health tip is add omega-3s, which are found in salmon, walnuts, and flaxseed for heart and brain health. Men's fashion tip of the day is the Friday casual blazer. Pair with a t-shirt or just for a relaxed day. Women's health tip of the day is use weekly clay masks to detox pores and balance oil. Women's fashion tip of the day is add a pop of color. A bright scarf, shoes, or a bag energizes any winter outfit. Our household chore of the day is clean under the kitchen sink. Remove everything, wipe down the surfaces, check for leaks, and toss expired cleaning products. This helps prevent mold, pests, and hidden water damage. All right, women, our Auto Mechanics 101 for today is how to jumpstart a car safely. Red clamp to your positive terminal, red clamp to the helper car. Black clamp to the helper car, black clamp to the metal ground on your car, not the battery. All right, and our relationship advice for couples today, plan a weekend moment of joy. Even 30 minutes strengthens connections. Friendships, check in on a friend who's always strong. They need support too. And family, create a fun Friday night tradition with games, movies, or a themed dinner. And in our Before They Were Legends, today we spotlight Ella Fitzgerald. Before she became the first lady of song, Ella Fitzgerald was a homeless teenager on the streets of Harlem. Her mother passed away when she was 15. She bounced between relatives, reform school, and shelters. She danced on the street corners for coins. She had no plan, just survival. One night she entered amateur night at the Apollo intending to dance, but when the crowd booed, she panicked and started singing instead. The audience went silent. Then they exploded. Before she was a legend, she was a girl who stumbled into her destiny, and her voice became the greatest instrument in American music. All right, on to our daily horoscopes, where we start with Aries. End the week strong. A victory boosts your confidence. Lucky numbers for you today are 1, 18, and 29. Taurus, treat yourself today. You've earned a moment of pleasure. Your lucky numbers today are 4, 12, and 26. Gemini, social energy is high. Connect, laugh, and share. Lucky numbers are 7, 15, and 33. Cancer, a heartfelt conversation brings clarity. Your lucky numbers today are 3, 11, and 28. Leo, your presence lights up every room. Step into your power. Your lucky numbers are 2, 17, and 30. Virgo, organization brings peace. Clear your space for the weekend. Your lucky numbers are 5, 14, and 27. Libra, love feels balanced and warm today. Enjoy it. Lucky numbers are 6, 19, and 31. Scorpio, a financial insight helps you plan ahead. Your lucky numbers today are 8, 20, and 34. Sagittarius, adventure calls. Try something new this weekend. Your lucky numbers are 10, 22, and 35. Capricorn, a career win sets the tone for the next week. Your lucky numbers today are 9, 16, and 32. Aquarius, your originality inspires others. Share your ideas. Your lucky numbers today are 11, 23, and 27. And Pisces, creativity flows effortlessly. Lean into your imagination. Your lucky numbers today are 6, 13, and 25. At this time, I would like to say thank you to our sponsors, Bellow Burn Hot Sauce, RAS Herbals, Caloraine Candles, and the official sponsor of the Chief and Go Show, Universal Magnets. In announcements today, please remember to watch the Peace Podcast with Tay and Jay tonight at 9:30 p.m. And also tomorrow, Saturday, watch Snatched and Savage at 8 p.m. with Omni, Mimi, Unknown Mike, and special guest Ace Boogie. All right, and that closes out the week, family. Until Monday morning, have a blessed weekend and stay safe. And I will see you then. Have a good weekend.